Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for March 10th of 2025 is titled NGC 1499, the California Nebula. So what do we see here? Well, here we see what is known as the California Nebula for its distinctive shape of the western coast of the United States. Now, this is an example of an emission nebula. An emission nebula occurs when gases are excited by high energy light, generally ultraviolet light from nearby stars. And in fact, we can see one of those just off to the blue section of the nebula here. And that is an extremely hot star, which then energizes the region around it and causes it to glow. So it's a very blue star. Blue star means that it's a hot star. So the hotter a star is, the shorter its primary wavelength of emission. And that would mean very hot stars will appear blue, while cooler stars will appear red. Now, while there are many stars around here, it is that one really hot star that is providing most of the ultraviolet light that ionizes this entire nebula and giving it its distinctive colors. An emission nebula like this is a sign of a star forming region. So when stars form from gases, they will then, when they form, they energize that gas and cause it to glow. Now, normally gases are clear, and we're familiar with that from our own atmosphere. We don't see our atmosphere. We can see right through it, but we know it's there. And the same thing happens out in space. The gases from which the stars form would also be completely transparent, letting all light through. However, we can take gases and put them in a tube on Earth and send electricity through them, energizing them and causing them to glow. And this is used many times for advertising lights that you can then have that gas glowing, which then is visible. Now, the same thing happens out in space. The ultraviolet light will ionize the atoms, stripping electrons off of them. And then when those electrons recombine, they will give off distinctive wavelengths of light. And a very prominent wavelength of that would be hydrogen gas, which gives off a distinct red color. So very much of this is red, showing the abundance of hydrogen gas, the most common element in the entire universe, making up about 90% of the atoms in our universe being hydrogen gas. So that's why we see that very distinct glow, red glow around here associated with hydrogen. Now, sometimes we use filters to look at other colors and emission of specific other elements to help us better understand the gases within the nebula and help us to better understand the star formation process. And that's because the star formation process takes a lot of time. We cannot watch a star form, and we will never see a star form in our lifetime. But we can see various different stages, and by imaging those and studying them, we can put together a complete piece of how star formation comes about. So that was our picture of the day for March 10th of 2025. It was titled NGC 1499, the California Nebula. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Galaxy Bar. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.